Hi, I'm Gimbal, and today I'm going to make a video about what camera you could get for Christmas or for any time of the year. I did a video last year about what camera to buy, but now it's Christmas time, so many people are sending me email asking me what they could buy, what camera would be best for them. Okay, so let's start. Today I have Claudia behind the camera who's waving hi to us. Alex, who is Alexander who is monitoring the sound, is my nephew. And so today we're going to speak about what camera we could get. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgimbal. My website ericgimbal.com, and if you have any question you can send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. Okay, so I'm going to speak about cameras. What did I do to decide what camera would be best or better or whatever? Depends on the camera I checked this year, but also I've been reviewing some magazine and to think what could be okay. Here I have Chasseur d'Images, a French magazine. Well, this is about lenses. I'm going to speak about camera bodies. So here I've got a special camera body here. I've got another one here, and also what I've checked and tried. Obviously, I don't pretend to have the right answer to anything. I don't pretend to say that the camera I say are the best one or the worst one. Each person should check by themselves and read reviews, see YouTube videos or whatever to make their own decision. So first, maybe some people are going to be bothered about what I'm going to say. I think that when you want to buy a camera for starting in photography, there are many options. And each brand try to sell you a basic camera, like the Canon 1300 or the T6, T5, or the Nikon 3000 series, like 3000, 3200, 3500, well 3400, these kind of cameras. I think these reflex cameras are very basic, and these brands are just trying to get something out of your eagerness to get a reflex camera, when there are many other options than these basic reflex cameras. And so I think I won't speak too much about these cameras, because I think that if you want to buy a camera to start into photography, you should get straight away into something a slight bit better, like mid-range, not that basic quality. Because if you look at the basic, just for the price, there are many other options. Even a cell phone is very often better than basic cameras. If you look at mid-range camera, speaking about 600 to 700 euros, which is about 650 to 750 US dollars, there are many options, and I'm going to tell you more or less the one I think that could be the best choice for that. Well, if we look at Canon, there is a 750D known as T6i, and the 760D also known as T6S. The difference between these two cameras is just on the outside. The inside is exactly the same. There is 24 megapixels, and the 760D, which is T6S, has also a small screen on top, LCD screen on top, and a small wheel in the back. But the inside is exactly the same one. Okay, this is, I think, the minimum camera you should start with. And if you look at the Nikon family, then you should look at the 5500 or the new issued 5600, which is also 24 megapixels. And these are maybe the most known brand, like Nikon and Canon, and maybe you should look into this if you have friends already with this make, because this way they can lend you some material, accessories, lenses or whatever. Okay, if you look at Pentax, which is an outsider, you have the K70 with a viewer which is 100%, is actually what you see in the viewer is exactly what you will get on your pictures. And also it's tropicalized. It means if you get some light rain or humidity, you won't get a damaged camera. This is a really good point for these kind of prices. Then if you look at mirrorless cameras, ranging these similar prices, You have the Sony Alpha 68, which is 24 megapixels, but according to what I've read, the viewer is not that comfortable. I've not tried it, so I just saying what I've read about it. Okay, if you look at Fujifilm, you have the X-T10, which is a brilliant camera for the price. It's a 16 megapixels. I said many times, many people say, is 16 megapixels enough? Yes, it is enough for most work we do as amateur or also as professional. So I should not worry. I think you should not worry that much about 16 megapixels. Okay. If you look at Olympus, you have a great option, which is the OMD 10 Mark II, which is a brilliant camera. It has the same sensor as the OMD 5 Mark II and the OMD 1, the Mark 1, because the Mark II has changed the sensor. The quality is brilliant for a really great price. And if you look at Panasonic, you have the Lumix G80, but the body is not stabilized. It means you will need some lenses by Panasonic that are actually stabilized. Otherwise, any shake you won't be able to get a steady pictures with that. Okay. Well, it depends on the speed, obviously, but I mean nowadays that every camera has stabilizers, it's important to know that if you have it in a in-body stabilization or in-lens stabilization. Okay, so for me, in this range, I would pick for the Canon 750D, which is T6i. I would not pay extra for the top screen and the wheel. Okay, I would look at the Nikon D5500. Also, the Fuji X-T10 is a great camera. It's like a mini X-T1. I think is great. And the Olympus OMD 10 Mark II is a bargain to what you could have. Now I'm going to look at semi-pro and pro camera with a budget that is a lot higher, ranging from around 1,000 to 2,000 euros, which is about 1,100 US dollars to 2,100 US dollars. Although there will be some cameras that are a lot higher, a lot more expensive. Okay, but I'm going to tell you by brand, so this way we see what they offer, and I'll tell you more or less what I think is the right pick in this range. Okay, so if we look at Canon, there is the 80D with this, which is around 1,200 euros. Then the 70 Mark II, which is a really great value. It's a sure value. I mean, it's not that cheap, but it has shown to be a great camera. It's like a mini 1DX. So I think it's a great camera. Then you have the 6D, which is full frame. It's already a bit old, but the price is really good. Then they have the 5DS and 5DR, which are 50 megapixels, which is great if you need really high resolution. Otherwise, I don't think it's justified to buy that kind of camera unless you really need this resolution. Then you have the winner 5D Mark III and the new 5D Mark IV. They are great cameras, but they're really, really pricey. And then they have the 1DX Mark II, which is top of the range for Canon, 6,300 euros. This is the typical camera, like professional, like sport photographer or action photographer will actually buy, which will actually buy, because I think this is what they need: really fast camera, fast autofocus, really top of the range camera. So in Canon range, for people who normally watch my YouTube channel, I would actually pick all the 80D. I think it's a good value for what they offer, or the 7D Mark II. And then if you want full frame, I would go for a 5D Mark III or Mark IV if you really need the 4K video. Otherwise, I would stick with the 5D Mark III. So let's look at Nikon. I would probably look at the, well, there are several cameras, obviously. There is the 70-200, which has a reasonable price. Then you have the D500, which is a great APS-C format camera for action photography. It's quite expensive because people think APS-C is cheap, but when the quality is there, it's not a matter of a format, it's more a matter of construction, built, the quality, everything is there in this camera. It costs about 2,800 euros. This is the the one that replaces the D300S. Many people thought the D300 was replaced by the 7200, but many people claimed they wanted a real replacement of that D300, and this is now done with the D500. I made a quick review of it when I visited the photography fair in Paris. I think this is a great choice. And then if you want full frame, you have the 750 and the 610, which are reasonably priced. Then you have the DF, which has a vintage look, but I think it falls short of what it promises. The quality should be a lot higher. There are many things that in that price range that are not acceptable for me. I think the look of the camera is not enough to justify such a price tag. Then you have the D810, which is a 36 megapixel camera for 3,200 euros. I think that if you were darting between Canon and Nikon and you do not need 4K, probably instead of a Canon 5D Mark IV, this is a better option because it is cheaper and you have quite a high resolution, high quality. I think the D810 is still a good winner in the top of the range reflex camera. Then you have the D5, which is really a weapon for any reporter, but it costs 7,000 euros, which is a lot of money. But I must say it is really a winner, and many professional photographers, sport photographers, reporters are actually using this camera because this is a great stuff. So to conclude with the Nikon range, for me I would go for D500 because I think the relation quality and price is great. And then if I wanted full frame, I would probably go for D750, which gives a great value for the quality, and the price is quite good. Okay. Then if I go to Fujifilm, then there is an option to start with the Fujifilm without getting ruined. Anyway, Fujifilm is not that expensive anyway. So the XE2S, which has a 16 megapixel, is only 700 euros, which is cheaper than the range I said. But it's still considered a semi-pro camera. The quality is great for the price, okay? Then you have the XproO 2. I did a review of that camera. I did not like that camera. I think it's not easy to manage. I think there is a lot of hype behind it. Many people love the camera. I respect it. For me, I was not convinced at all by this dual optical and electronic viewer. I think it's not practical to use. They think it's like street photography. It's like for street photography, but for me, it's too slow to use. It's not that practical, so I was not convinced. And then there is the XT2, which I think is a brilliant camera. The quality is there. It's easy to manage. It's fast. It's really a great camera. And I think I'm not the only one to think about this, because magazine like this one, about both of them, they actually say the same thing as I say, that they give better score to the XT2 than to XproO 2. Although to Fujifilm, the XproO 2 is the top of the range camera. Then there is a great opportunity to get a very good camera for a cheap price. The XT1 is still for sale. It's a lot cheaper than XT2. I don't think it's still online on Fujifilm website, but you can still find it on in some shops. So I think that if you want a great value for money, the XT1 is a good choice. But for me, if I had to decide on a Fujifilm camera, I would definitely get the XT2, because I think this is a great camera for the price. Although it's a bit pricey, I think the quality is there. Then I get to my family. I say my family because I use the Olympus. So I go to the Olympus camera. There is the Pen F, 20 megapixels, 1,200 euros. It's compact, is a good tool. It works fine. But to me, it's far too small. It's more like a way of showing off the camera you have than a real tool. I know that it's really a lovely camera to look at it. It looks really vintage. But actually, I prefer my Olympus OMD5. Well, matter of taste, I suppose. Then there is a great value for money, which is the OMD E5 Mark II, which has a price of 1100 euros. It's like a mini reflex, and surely it's a great tool for the price and what it offers. Then you have the OMD1 Mark II, which has been voted camera of the year. I think this is an impressive camera. I saw it in the photography fair in Paris. It has a 60 frames per second when you shoot continuously, 4K video. It's an amazing camera. For the price it has, it's really the camera to choose if you want top of the range mirrorless. Although Micro Four Thirds, maybe some people think it's not that great because of the sensor size and the resolution, but I think it's far enough for most of us. For 99% of what people do, actually, this format is great. Then if you go to Panasonic Lumix, then you have the GX80 and the GX8, one with 16 megapixels, the other one with 20 megapixels. The price is great because it goes from 650 for the GX80 to 1100 euros for the GX8. This is a great camera. Then you have the GH4, which is one of the favorite camera for people who make videos. I must say, for me, why I would not choose it. I would not choose it because there is no stabilization in the body. It has to be in the lens. But if you really make video and you have the right lenses for it, this is really a brilliant camera. This is why many people pick this. Okay. Then you have an outsider or some outside. I don't know if you call it outsider or something. A camera that is a bit surprisingly in this list, which is a GM5, which is a compact camera with a lens you can actually change. Okay, so this is a way to have a compact camera with several lenses, and if you travel and you still want to have high quality, this is a really good option. Then we go to the Sony family, and then you have the Alpha 77 II. It's great for the price, 1100 euros, which has a really fast autofocus, so this is a great option. Then you have two different cameras, mirrorless, small, which is the Alpha 6000 and the Alpha 6300. The first one is only 600 euros now. The second one is 1200 euros. It has some more feature, including the 4K video. If you don't need 4K, the Alpha 6000 is a really great option. Okay. Then you have the 7 series, which is the Alpha 7, 7R, 7S. The 7 is 24 megapixels. The 7R is 36 megapixels, and the 7S is only 12 megapixels because it is thought for video. And it also offers 400,000 ISO, which is great. I mean, for paparazzi, want to make picture at night time, no light, nothing, no one sees you, it's great. All that's 400,000 ISO. Obviously, the quality is not as nice, but at 25,000 ISO, the quality is perfect. So this is something that depends on the work you do. It could be a really good option. And then you have the top of the range series, which is the version 2 with the Alpha 7 II, the 7R2 and the 7S2. So I will speak about the top of the range, which is the R2 with 42 megapixels, 50,000 ISO and 4K video. I had this camera in my hand in Paris and in the photography fair, and I think it was great because it's very small. It works really good, and if you see the size, people who value the weight and size of the material, this is a great option. I think the price is very good if you compare to Nikon and Canon. And then we go to Pentax, which is a bit like the black sheep of the camera life, with the the K3 II Mark II, which is very affordable, 950 euros, 24 megapixels. This is on APS-C format. And then we have the K1 at last full frame camera by Pentax with 36 megapixel Sony sensor in there. It's 2100 euros, which is quite affordable for a full frame camera. But although the body is nice about the price, the lenses, Pentax lenses, are quite expensive. So I think that they give you something and they take you away with the lenses. And although as Pentax is not as you don't find it as easily as Canon or Nikon. There are not that many third-party options. If you want, for example, different lenses or accessories, you really need to buy Pentax, so that may be a problem for you. Then we have compact cameras. There are so many compact cameras, I cannot do the whole list, so I'm going to speak to you just about the one I think that are the most interesting. I would not look at basic compact camera, because I think that mobile telephone are very often better than most compact cameras. So I would look at the top of the range, or the one that I think that are better. Okay, so the Canon G9X, which is of the G family that Canon has been selling for years now, and this is a great camera. Then I would look at the Fujifilm X100T, which is a great compact camera, very good image quality, nice price, size. This is a great option. And then if you're traveling and you need longer zoom, I think the Lumix TZ100 is a great option. Maybe it has not got the best image quality, but I think if you look like a compromise between price and size and zoom length, I think this is probably a great option for traveling. Okay, now let's look at the bridge cameras. Same thing, there are many bridges, so I think I will tell you just 3.5, which is one, which are two versions, and other two. The Lumix FZ200 and FZ300. The FZ300 has 4K video, so if you don't need this 4K video, then I would look at the FZ200. It has the same sensor, it is older, the quality is very similar, but the price is a lot cheaper. Okay, so this is Panasonic Lumix FZ200 and FZ300. Then you have the Lumix FZ1000. It was the first 4K bridge camera. It's still good. It's a good camera. It was very expensive when it came out. The price has dropped a lot, and now it makes sense to buy it. For me at the start, it did not make that much sense, but now it does. There is a replacement already, which is the FZ2000, but it's twice the price. It has also 4K. It has new features, but I think the FZ1000 right now, for the price that they ask, is a better option. And then if you really want top of the range bridge camera, but you have to pay a premium price for it, the Sony RX10 is surely a really good choice. Okay, so that was my opinion about these cameras. I'm sure some people will tell you exactly the same thing as I say. Some other people would tell you exactly the other way around, saying that I'm completely wrong. So obviously this is something you should check for yourself, look at reviews, ask people, check before you decide. But I think with this I tell you a bit more or less what I would answer to you by email, to what I would recommend you according to your needs. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you to Claudia and Alex that are behind the cameras there. Claudia is waving. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EricGibaud. My Facebook, facebook.com/EricGibaudPhoto. If you have any question, you can send me an email to info@ericgibaud.com. My website, ericgibaud.com. Instagram, @Gibaud, Twitter, ericgibaud, Google+, @ericgibaud. I think that's it. Thank you very much. Goodbye.